When did you actually start your own stand-up? Because you went on stage and you
I
think you
tried
did
to
more.
start when I was 16. My high school had a thing called the cabaret every spring. My theory was I would audition with a George Carlin bit, and then if I got in, I'd write material. And thank God Mr. Maggs, the director, was smarter than that. I remember listening to George Carlin while loading wood from outside, in the New England winters, just having a cassette of Carlin that I would listen to over and over. And then the next year I came back with material I had written and got into the cabaret and got to do 2 nights of, my set doing stand-up. And at the time, there was an open mic that happened once a month called the Comedy Crunch. And I started going to that and with the same material that killed in front of a high school audience. And guess what? Died a painful death many times. But I kept doing it, and then the next year I went to college. I started doing open mics in Pittsburgh, and I had to kind of sneak in because I was underage, and that's what I was doing all through college. And before I graduated, I was occasionally getting paid gigs.
So talk to me about all the funny things that happened in your comedy career.
Oh, well, the thing is that once you start doing comedy, it's not funny anymore. I mean, I've had a lot of fun things happen. I've had, done a lot of weird things and, gotten mixed up in some weird things. But here's the thing. A lot of the great road stories come from getting drunk. And I don't drink.
Me neither.
I'm a dork. I'm a comedy dork. And when I'm hosting, when I'm emceeing shows or doing shows with, big names, I have to be like, hello, comedy god who beams with the intensity of 1,000 suns. You are a person and I shall address you as such. I'm still a comedy dork. I'm still a total comedy nerd, but I'm trying to be all professional and stuff. I honestly, for most comedians, I don't know what level of success constitutes success. I had somebody tell me, it's like, oh, you're going to be at the top of comedy. I'm like, there is no top. There is no best comedian ever. There's no definition like that. It's not like you become the CEO of comedy. I mean, obviously there are top names, and for every huge comic, there's people who will tell you they're not funny. It's like any art. You can't say Picasso was better than Rembrandt because they're just not comparable. No 2 great painters are truly, no artists are really, truly comparable. It's art. It's subjective. It's always gonna be. It's very unpredictable, and it depends how much you're going to work on it, and then what your whole persona is, and whether or not you have control over that persona. So many different things decide whether or not you're successful in any metric. So to say, this person's going to make it, this person's not, you can't. So to inspire someone to do it, whether or not they, make it big or whatever, doesn't matter. It's like I inspired someone to try something, and I love that. I love that there are people who, and then there are people who, just see it and like it and don't feel that they have to do it. And they tell me that, like, oh my God, you're the funniest person. And that's just fun. It just feels good that you said something, you thought of something, and you wrote it down, and then you said it, and it had an impact on people beyond just the initial involuntary response of laughter. That made them think. It made them buy a pin that says nobody's mom. Anything like that. Anything that you feel where you have like any kind of positive impact, that just feels really good. Like, you can set goals, but you can also have to be, enjoy what you get to do. So.
Exactly.
My big overall goal, I want to make a living. I want to make a living making people laugh, and beyond that is, just luck. Beyond that would be swell, but if I'm making a living making people laugh, then I'm happy.